Hello everyone, myself Sowmya, Assistant Professor in CSE AIML Department, MLR Institute of Technology. In this video, we are going to discuss about selectors. So we have seen the syntax of CSS in the previous video. So what is the syntax of CSS? So first I need to write the selector name, open the brace, you need to write the property name, colon, property value, semicolon, like that you need to write the multiple properties. So here we have selector, right? So how to choose that selector? So what I need to mention in the selector? So whether I do it with the class name or ID name or the tag name, what I need to give. So we have different types of selectors. So those types of selectors you're going to discuss in this video. So this video covers different concepts like types of selectors. The different types of selectors we have like simple selector, class selector, generic selector, ID selector, universal selector and pseudo classes. So all these different types of selectors we are going to discuss along with the examples. So coming to the, before going to in depth about the selectors, first again we will see the syntax of the CSS. So just now we have seen the syntax of the CSS is first I need to mention the selector followed by the opening brace and you need to mention the property, colon, property value, semicolon and after that you need to mention the different properties, another properties. So this is the second property, this is the first property, second property, first value, second value and so on. So this is the basic syntax here. Right? And what is this selector? How to mention this selector? So do I need to give only the tag names or do I need to give only the class names? So what might be the selector? We have different types of selectors. We will see that. So coming to the types of selectors, we have these many selectors: a simple selector, class selector, generic selector, ID selector, universal selector and pseudo classes. We'll see one by one. The first one is simple selector. A simple selector form is a single element to which the property and value is applied. So we are mentioning only one element here. That element is also the tag name. So for which tag you want to apply the set of styles, that tag name you need to mention as the element. So this is an example. I want to apply the set of styles to an element called H1. So for H1 element, you are applying the set of styles. So what I need to mention, if it is a simple selector, just directly mention the tag name or the element name. So this is an example here. So within the style tag, I'm just mentioning different set of styles. Here I'm mentioning the body tag, H1, H3 tag, H2 tag. So what exactly we are doing here? Directly we are mentioning the tag names only. So what are the tags we have mentioned here? Body tag, H1 tag, H2 tag, H3 tag. So with all those tags, I'm just writing a program within the body section and this is the output we are going to get. So for the body, we have given the background color as yellow and for H1, we have given the color as blue. For H2, we have given the color as green and for H3 again we have given the color as blue. So these are the outputs you are getting. So if it is a simple selector, directly you need to mention the tag name. Next is class selector. So in the previous video, we have seen if it is a class selector, you need to mention with the dot. So first along with the tag, you have to create the class. Whatever the class name you are assigning with the tag, for that class name, you need to mention the set of styles. Using class selector, we can assign different styles to the same element. These different styles appear on different occurrences of the element. So for different occurrences of the element, we can choose different set of styles using this class selector. So here I'm writing H1 dot ready text. H1 we know already H1 is a tag name, element name or tag name. And dot, if you mention dot, dot indicates what? It's a class name. And what is the class name? The class name is ready text. So what it means actually, just generally if I write only dot red text, these set of styles will be applied to all the elements whose class name is red text. For example, I have three elements. One is H1, one is P, and the other one is H2. So for all these three, the class name is red text only. So for all these three elements, these set of styles will be applied. But here I'm writing differently, H1 dot red text. So the class name is red text, but what is the tag name? H1. So out of these three, I'm picking only the first one. The tag name is H1 and the class name is red text. In that case, apply this set of styles. No, I want to apply the set of style for all the classes. I mean all the elements whose class name is red text, then don't mention this H1. Just directly mention dot red text. That's all. Right? So now here within the body tag, I'm writing the H1 tag and whose class name is red text. And here, this set of styles will be applied for this tag. So what are the styles? The font size and the color we have given. So coming to the example for this class selector, here I'm writing two cases. So two classes, two different properties. H1 dot intro. So the tag name is H1, the class name is intro. So the tag name H1, whose class name is intro, apply the set of styles. And next, the tag name is H1, whose class name is intro1, apply the set of styles. So you can see we have two H1 tags, but for the first H1 the class name is intro, and for the second H1 the class name is intro1. So you can check, for the first one the color is green, and for the second one the color is red. So like that, for first H1 you're getting the color as green, and for the second H1 you're getting the color as red. Of course, the different family and different styles also we have applied. I'm just telling only the color. So like that, the class selector will be applied based on the usage. So we have the same element, H1 is the same element, but in the different cases, different occurrences, we are applying the different styles. So next is generic selector. So generic selector is similar to class selector, but to all the elements whose class name is a fixed one. I mean, like previously we have taken the same element H1, but the class name is different, right? So one time the class name is different and another time the class name is different, but the tag name is same. In that case, we are taking that class selector. Whereas the generic selector is similar to class selector. I mean, general traditional class selector. So we define the class in generalized form. That particular class can be applied to any tag, irrespective of tag name. I'm just focusing only the class name. Here we can see I'm just mentioning only the class name dot red text. If the class name is dot red text, apply the set of styles. Here I'm writing body tag. Within body tag for H1, the class name is red text. Here it may be H1 or P or a anchor tag, whatever it may be. We are just checking only the class name. The class name is red text, so that this styles will be applied here. Coming to the example. So the class name is dot text align. Dot means it is a class name whose class name is text align. Apply the set of styles. And now here within the body tag, I'm writing different elements. One is H1 element, other one is H2, H3 and P. And if you observe for all these things, the class name is same. What is the class name? Text align only. So that the set of styles will be applied for all these elements. So what are the styles we have applied? The color should be blue and text align should be center and the font family is Arial. So with these set of styles, the output will be displayed here. So that's about the generic selector. And next is ID selector. So we know ID is nothing but it is a unique for any element. So for example, I have some 3 P tags, and for these 2 P tags, the class name is same. Class name is P1. Right? In that case, I want to apply a specific a specific property only for this first P. So here I cannot use the simple tag, like if I write P, open all the properties. What happens in this case? The element name is P. So for all these cases, the element name is P, so that the set of styles will be applied for all these things. No, I'm just using the class selector. What is the class selector? P1 dot some class name. What is the class name? P1. Sorry, P dot P1. Something like that you're using. So P dot P1. So P is the paragraph tag. The class name is P1. So what happens here with the class name? We have 2 P elements. Right? What is the class name? P1. But whose elements? These are the 2 elements. For first 2 P tags, the class name is P1. So what happens here? Whatever the styles you are writing, that will be applied for these 2 Ps. But I want to apply a set of styles only for the first P. In that case, I need to use the ID selector. So ID is nothing but it's a unique value which is given to only one tag. One particular element, I'm assigning one unique ID. So used to define a special style for a specific element. It's a specific element, not to a group of elements. Unlike class selectors, an ID is unique and should be used only once per page. Right? So even if you have 100 elements, for all the 100 elements, this will not be applied. Right? So you are applying this only for a specific element. So ID can be specified using this hash followed by the ID name and provide the set of properties. So this is an example. What is the ID name? ID name is red text. The element whose ID name is red text, provide these properties. So this is the example here. So body tag I'm opening, H1 tag I'm opening with the ID red text and I'm writing some content. So now with the ID red text, H1 element is there. For this H1, this set of styles will be applied. So now I'm writing one more element H2 and the ID is same red text. So in this case, you don't get the output for H2. Why? Because in HTML, of course, you don't get any error, but it will not be allowed to use the same ID for two different elements. Already red text is the ID for H1 element, so that you can't use the same ID for H2 element. So what happens here for H1? This will be applied. Why? Because it is a first statement, right? It is a first statement. So it is creating an ID red text for the H1. So it will be applied. But whenever I write the second statement H2 with the same ID, it will not be allowed, so that it will not be executed. I mean, that style will not be applied to H2. So this is an example, hash special, the ID name is special, and if the ID name is special, apply all these styles. Here I am writing different set of elements. So what are the elements you are writing? H1, P, P, P. We have 3 paragraphs, but out of these 3 paragraphs, I am writing this ID only for the last paragraph. For the last paragraph, the ID name is special. Remaining all, you are not applying any styles, so you can check the output. H1 will be displayed as it is, normal heading style, and P1, first paragraph normal, second paragraph is also normal, but the third paragraph you are using ID, the ID name is special. If the ID name is special, apply these properties. What are the properties? The color should be blue and the font family is Arial and text align. You can see the alignment is in center. So I want to be a special paragraph. This is the last paragraph which will be applied all these styles, right? So these styles will be applied to this particular paragraph. Next one is universal selector. So I want to apply some set of styles to all the elements which are there in my program. Universal in the sense all the set of elements which are available in my program to indicate that you're using star. So star, opening brace, write the properties, close the brace. These set of properties will be applied to the entire program. Entire program in the sense whatever the element you have in your program, for all the elements, this set of styles will be applied. So example star. And I'm providing some font family, color and font size. These are all styles will be applied to all the elements of your program. What are the elements you have? H1, H2, H3 and paragraph. For all these elements, the set of styles will be applied. Why? Because I'm using a universal selector here. Next is pseudo classes. Pseudo classes is a different one. Not exactly, I mean, it's not like predefined. Based on the situation, based on the criteria, we can use this. Using pseudo classes, we can give special effects on the selector. There are some pseudo classes which are more commonly used. Of course, we have multiple, but we are listing only few. One is focus, hover, hyperlink. So focus in the sense, whenever a particular text field or any form field is gaining the focus in the sense I'm placing the cursor inside this text field, that means that particular text field is gaining the focus. So that is nothing but focus. And next is hover. Whenever you place your mouse onto that point, if I place my mouse onto this point, then it is called as hover. And hyperlink, you have some hyperlinks, right? Whenever you create an hyperlink, so that is called, that is nothing but hyperlink. So now the syntax is selector colon pseudo class name. So whatever the selector you are selecting, for example, I am selecting the input tag. So input tag is the selector. Pseudo class, what is the pseudo class you are taking? I am taking the focus and provide the properties. So what happens? What do you mean by this statement? So the input field is the selector is input. Whenever this particular selector input field gains focus, automatically the set of styles will be applied. So that is the logic of the pseudo classes, and that is the logic behind the statement. So we'll see example here. So here I'm writing different styles here. What is the tag name? Tag name is A tag only, anchor tag only. So A colon, I need to mention the pseudo class name. So what is the pseudo class name? Link. If it is a normal link, the background color will be displayed as red. Hover. So normally, so when you open it, if it is a link, normally it will be displayed in red color. Hover. When you place your mouse onto that A anchor tag, automatically it will be changed to yellow. Visited. So you have clicked on it. You visited that page, automatically it will be turned to green. Active, if it is active, if it is working, if it is, currently it is active, you're not in another page, then it will be turned to pink. So that's all, you're closing the style tag. So now, here I'm just creating anchor tag, href is equal to image2.jpg. Whenever you click on it, this hyperlink, automatically it will be redirected to some web page, right? And what is the link name, my file. So all the styles will be appeared here only. So my file, a hyperlink will be created. So based on the scenarios which we mentioned here, if it is a link, so if it is a link, by default it will be in red color. So if you place the mouse onto this, yellow color. If you have visited it, if you have clicked on it, it will be changed to green. So something like that, the properties you have mentioned here. So only this particular part will be affected with this, right? So this is nothing but pseudo classes. So another example for pseudo classes is input focus. So here I'm writing input field colon focus. Whenever this input field gains a focus, automatically this changes will be applied. This set of styles will be applied. So now here inside the form tag, I'm writing two fields. One field that is for text name, right? Name. The input type is equal to text. What is the message? What is the label you're getting? Enter some string followed by one text field followed by one button. What is the button name? Enter. So now what exactly you can see when you open this program? You can see only a blank text field, right? But what we are doing here, whenever the input gains focus, whenever you place the cursor inside this text field, that means it is gaining the focus. In that case, automatically the background color of this text field will be changed to sky blue, and the color is normal color, is nothing but font color. The font color will be changed to white color. So generally by default the font color will be black, right? So if I directly type some text here in black color, the text will be appeared. But whenever the text field is gaining the focus, automatically change the background color to sky blue, and the foreground color, that is the text color, will be changed to white. So these are the styles you are applying here. So that's about different types of selectors. We are applying CSS based on the selector. So first you need to select the element for which you want to apply the CSS. But to choose the selector, we have different categories here. So in this video, we discussed about the different types of selectors like simple selector. Simple selector means simply you're giving the tag name. Class selector in the sense in different occurrences for the same element, how to apply different styles. So I have H1 element only with the class name class 1, H1 element only with the class name class 2. In that case, you are using class selector. Generic selector is the generic, dot class 3. The elements whose class name is class 3 will be applied all the set of styles. ID selector, you're mentioning using hash, and this ID will be unique to a particular element. Universal selector, you're using star, and this will be applied to all the elements of your program. Pseudo classes are the special cases. So we have different syntax here. First, you need to mention the selector. Also, you need to mention the pseudo class name, whether it is focus or whether it is gaining the focus or losing the focus, whether it is hover. We have different pseudo classes here. Those pseudo classes you need to mention in your style statement. Thank you.